Bitcoin reached an all-time high this week of $900. Now, at its peak, if you had have invested $1,000 a year ago and cashed it in on that day, you would have made over $76,000. Now, the reason behind the huge gains were largely put down to US lawmakers hearing that virtual currencies are a legitimate financial service during a special meeting in Congress with the same benefits and risks as other online payment systems. Another reason behind Bitcoin's latest gains is its growing popularity in China. Now, about a third of the world's Bitcoin transactions now flow through the China exchange BTC. So I'm now joined by Bobby Lee, who's the head of the exchange. Okay, Bobby, what I want to know is, why is the Bitcoin so popular in China?
Bitcoin has been quite popular in China over the past 2 months. I think it's due to a combination of more awareness. But in China, because it's a nation of savers, people tend to save for the rainy day, and they want to when they save their hard-earned income, they want to put the money to good use. So they either buy real estate, they buy gold, they buy stocks. They put it in long-term deposits in the bank, and so Bitcoin has come up as yet another way for them to invest their money.
Why is the Bitcoin so volatile? Because this week, Bobby,
Yes,
we've seen outrageous volatility. It's been all over the place.
The reason it's volatile is because of supply and demand. In essence, because Bitcoin is limited to 21 million, it turns out there's only about 12 million Bitcoins available today. Our daily volume has spiked to about 80,000 to 110,000 Bitcoins a day. So as prices go up and up and up, there are just not that many people. All the people who wanted to sell Bitcoins have already sold their Bitcoins at lower prices. So the next buyer who's eager to buy Bitcoin at whatever price it is, then has to buy it at the very high price. So you see a sharp jump in the price. So what happens over time, as there is more liquidity in the market, that would sort of calm down a little bit, and the price will be more normal.
And Bobby, what about regulation? Are you for this, or could it potentially kill the Bitcoin?
I know a lot of people out there are afraid of regulation, but I take a different perspective. All the rules and regulations relating to currency don't apply to Bitcoin because Bitcoin is not a currency. So there's this sort of catch-22 where until Bitcoin is recognized, it cannot be regulated, yet people are afraid of being regulated. So my take is, our business, for my company, we want Bitcoin to be regulated in China. We want China to take an active role in order to endorse and sort of promote Bitcoin in the space, so that we can continue innovation in this sector.
Bobby Lee there, talking to us from Shanghai, speaking BTC China, the head just there. We really appreciate your thoughts. We're now joined by Vladimir Maslakov from Exanti, the CTO of the company that invests into Bitcoin, doesn't it? Is that right?
Yes, right. We were the first company to make the Bitcoin fund so our customers could legally invest into Bitcoin.
Right, gotcha. Okay, so with that in mind, what happened this week? We got to that 900 mark. What was going through your mind? You must have been pretty excited.
No, we were pretty calm about it because we knew that the adoption is rising. And that's why it was just one movement in the price, and then it got back to the same levels.
And really, the reason that it did escalate so much is because of what was happening in the US, the US regulation talks. Are you keen, or would that kill the Bitcoin? Because surely that's part of its attraction, the fact that it is so private.
Yes, I think one of the main drivers this week was the US Senate talk about it, and the guys on the internet, they were really very optimistic because the government showed that they're ready to get involved into this digital currency thing. And we know that a month ago, Germany accepted Bitcoin as legal tender. So people could pay taxes and use it as an exchange vehicle. So I think that government showed people that they are quite comfortable with it, and they're looking for different ways to come to regulation.
Yeah. And moving on, so what is the future of the Bitcoin? Do you think that it's just going to get bigger and better and more improved as a virtual currency?
I think yes. I see the future that it will become one of the major currencies in the digital world.
When you first started investing into Bitcoin, did people think you were mad?
Yeah, actually they still do.
So they still do now?
Yes.
Even though it's got to the 900, yeah.
Yes, but I tried to explain that the technology is quite robust. It's working like for 4 years, even more, and it has been proven by many by millions of transactions already. So it's quite mature at the moment.
And in terms of a portfolio, how would you recommend going about it in terms of the Bitcoin? Because it is so volatile, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I say to all the investors, not only Bitcoin, but classical stocks investors. You should always diversify your portfolio. That's the best hedge from the risk, from the big risk, is the diversification. That's why you should take just a portion of your money, and if you believe in technology, invest into Bitcoin, for example.
Great advice just there from Vladimir Maslakov from Exante. Thank you for coming in today. We really appreciate that.